This recording of If We Are to Have Magical Bodies, We Must Have Magical Minds is a somewhat condensed version of my contribution to the Heavy Breathing series, which I performed at the UC Berkeley Art Museum and Pacific Film Archive in 2017. It is a splice of my two practices, moving between very different or maybe very similar movements, my writing and my teacher's notes to me. Some of the writing is new and some of it is previously published. Some of the notes are edited and some are not. If we are to have magical bodies, we must have magical minds. Nothing is happening at the wild eagle nest. Start to breathe more deeply with attention on the lower back ribs, observing how well they're able to stay connected to the ground. Don't worry about what any particular muscles are up to. Stay focused on the bones. Everything is happening. In the distance, there is a train whistle, low and sustained over the small night sounds all around you. If you are sitting, feel the expansion of the rib cage send your crown higher, and let it remain suspended as you exhale. You are told to try leaving your house carrying nothing. Don't think about what you cannot fix. Don't think in terms of fixing. When you are this deep in, the forest swallows things. But you are not in the forest. You are on the dock, near the resting boats, watching the kingfishers and herons hunt in the fading light. You are wondering about the happiness of others, where it comes from, how it stays. The sauce is on the stove, thickening. Picture the way air moves through green and how time is on stone. Dull ache of bone. Where does a body of knowledge go when you walk away from it? Listen, count the sounds. Write down everything, be as specific as possible. Stand focused on something at eye level. Stay focused on it as you slowly turn your head from side to side. Try inhaling as you turn your head. Try feeling your clavicle float, feeling a thoracic expansion. Exhale as you return to center. Now, your hands are in fists clenching. You are up on releve with one foot in front, and your flat back slides over an invisible horizontal plane. You don't have a talent for making friends. The body flings itself through whipping turns, throws back head, shakes, no, no, no. Your skin looks buttery and delicious. There is nothing at eye level. You have to look for something. You get distracted. You remember that email you needed to send, all the emails. Find something. Close your hands into fists, keeping your thumbs out. Hold one fist close to your eyes and the other at arm distance so that both thumbs are eye level. Jump focus between your near thumb and far thumb as quickly as possible, being sure each one comes fully into focus before changing. When the men could no longer contain their curiosity, they untied the bag and the winds rushed out. The cord was silvery, the rush of fish in water, the cord slipping through their fingers, and what was waiting, coiled. Disaster is always relative, so you don't recognize your family anymore, so you have trouble figuring out the next move. The eagle casts about, the egg is not viable. Slide your jaw forward and back, side to side, circles upon circles. You cannot find a position of comfort. There is nothing on TV. There is nothing on the internet. There is nerve pain radiating all down the left side of your shoulder and arm, and it is very hard to move your neck in most directions. It is hard to sip water, for example, or to look up. Hard to sit. Try, if you can, to find a position of comfort. You cannot find a position of comfort. Everyone else is asleep. The house is deadly quiet. This is not your house. You must keep trying. Begin. Begin again. There is one feeling, a feeling of feeling everything that goes away as soon as you try to get close to it. There is gray-blue powdery mold creeping all along the windowsill, up and down the painted wood, which is wet and puckered. There are people in the streets, in some streets, many streets, up and down the asphalt. But it is very quiet where you are. There is only rain. Relax here. The lack of doing is the primary benefit. Pain focuses you, places you into a small, desperate, rich world. You are rotating around yourself. Are there exits? The field disperses, more depth, Always how do the 5 points connect? 2 bodies down, 1 up, 1 body hinged, 1 staggering. How stars lose their stability as they age. The kids run up and down the block, laughing and screaming Marco Polo. Now you are in another life. The bird of the day is some kind of falcon. It hurts to tilt your pelvis. The other night in the theater, you felt your knowledge swinging away from you, ebbing out. The memory of the bus pulling up along the flooded gutter, the wave of filthy water almost swamping your feet. If you are standing or want to stand, stand with feet under your hips and let your arms swing as if you were walking, allowing them to be heavy like big pendulums. Final stages, endgame, you're out. I can't anymore remember what I was trying to tell you, you say. I wish you would all get up and leave me, you say. You are still sitting, sentry, watcher, but not them, not watching them, standing still and sitting still, and now hold the floor, think of them, on your back, the giant hand scoops. Your jaw still feels pretty tight. You press your thumbs into the opposite palms, alternating, pressing hard for a moment. A state of emergency has just been declared. The world's best freediver vanishes into the depths. The debris from the disappeared airplane surfaces. You are trying to lengthen your neck without tucking your chin. The idea of the moon's gravity doesn't sound as profound as it once did. Repeat from the beginning. Slow walk back. The alien ship hovers. Satellites, orbits, moments of one rising, the other falling over and under each other. As you're observing all of this, occasionally bring your attention to your right arm and shoulder. Be on the lookout for any protective behaviors, namely holding tension. There is a constant rushing of wind, building sometimes almost to a howl. The nesting eagle lies with its head curved back and tucked into its folded wings. Imagine where you are. Remember to do this as many times as you feel increases your mobility. Stop before any fatigue or other muscle bother. The monster, when she opened her wings, did this. You didn't understand for a long time how badly you had injured yourself, how diminished you would become. The room feels darker now, is it? If you are standing or feel like standing, reach your left hand slightly down outside of your pants for a modicum of left side bend. Feel the resulting strength/connection in left waist. Keeping that, float your right arm light as a feather sideways to arc overhead. There is only the sound of wind, the sound of dry twigs snapping at each other. You can always see the storms coming. Eos was a titaness. Her brother Helios was god of the sun, and her sister Selene, goddess of the moon. Did Eos live in a system that reduced her world? She rose each morning on the edge of Oceanus, the silvery waters already evaporating from her skin as she entered the air. Eos is rendered at times with wings. The word saffron is used. Red sky at morning, sailors take warning. Begin passively rotating your head/neck with awareness of the space at the very center of the line between your ears. Begin to notice how little you understand about anything. You are in love, but you are not lovers. If you feel any pain in your right knee, stop immediately. You could keep going. Should you keep going? Lion's roar. Take huge inhale, then as you exhale, open jaw as wide as possible, stick tongue out and down as far as possible while looking toward your third eye/pineal gland. This means your eyes are looking up and crossed. Make a loud, dramatic, murderous exhale. Do 5 big ones. The late day light is slanting in, rendering shadows, skyscrapers, and canyons on the smooth wooden floors. Desire is pulling you down like a gathering heaviness. You want things to be pure. There is a pencil next to you. Pick it up and hold it parallel to your mouth. Put it as far back in your mouth as possible. Gently bite down as you exhale. Relax on inhale. Do this 5 to 10 times. Not all moments are brief. The smoke drifts up in various catches of light. If you are standing or want to stand, stand with feet pretty much hip distance apart, maybe a bit more. Rotate hips in circles, shift the circle, get a sense of how and where the tightness is. The light is coming through the open door of your bedroom. You see its trapezoidal stretch hazily against the ceiling. Not against, across. Anything could come into that container, anything could be held, but not kept. Fish in the water by the floating dock, flakes of light equal movement. Your bones feel fragile. You feel frightened to do anything. You are told you are making progress. There is the horizon. Separate your toes as widely as you can. Notice how one foot behaves differently from the other. If you are standing or want to stand, place your feet hip distance apart, spread your toes and heels, and keep your weight firmly over your arches. Your body wants a river. If you'd like to do a forward fold, do a forward fold. Imagine you are in the shower. Stand with your back to the water. Spread your toes against the subtle porcelain curve of the tub. Shift your gaze. The trees are spreading in the sky's inky darkness. Reach fingertips of one hand as high to ceiling as possible to open up that side of waist/spine without too much compression on the opposite side. Do however many you like, finishing with the right side opening. Everything on fire, everything in continual war, orgy of rapturous grief on cable news shows. If you could think of your pelvis like a bowl, the water runs out. Today you saw a blue jay take a tour of the nest, hopping about, and one eagle looking at the nest as if trying to decide. Bring your fingers along the bone of sternum, sliding the bone up almost. You might almost feel a lift of chin, but without the neck engaging. Your neck stays long. Do this 4 to 8 times. Everything as the memory tells you. You walk through the small cemetery, keep to the paths. At night you lie in a narrow room many floors above the ground, your body feeling the tremors that aren't happening. Carefully packaged stationery, the thin blade of steel shuddering. You realize there is no answer here. The small place that opens up into a not-so-small place where these things meet. The connection or the tensions between wanting to be free and wanting to be owned, and which one will make you more real. Be gentle with yourself. The entrapment is more likely coming from the neck/shoulder rather than the elbow. Lie on your back with feet wider than hips. Alternate dropping one knee in toward the middle at a time. At first only move the thigh, but after a few start to let your hips move with it. The period of time when you still could have a child, but know you will not. The belief in your ability to know things. Reach the fingertips of one hand as high to the ceiling as possible to open up that side of your waist/spine without too much compression on the opposite side. Do however many you like, finishing with the right side opening. Turn your neck the opposite way if you want. Your cuticles are mostly not chewed. The cigarette is mostly not smoking. Your pinky and ring fingers lose sensation when you sleep. Imagine doing nothing. You recede. A haze is spreading across the city and out over the hills beyond, the light breaking luminous and edged and then all at once gone after pooling unjustifiably. Lie on the foam roller. Start with breathing and releasing your shoulders back around the roller, leaving your chest open. Begin to focus on feeling that lower triangle/belt across the hip bones engage as you exhale. If you don't have a roller, you can do this on the floor. If you don't have a floor, you have transitioned to a new plane, and none of this is necessary. One of the eggs is not viable. If you are lying on your back, slide one leg out straight. Bend knee sideways towards tree pose, then bring knee to face ceiling to repeat. Do left side, then right side, then reverse direction. First bending knee sideways toward tree pose, sliding leg out, sliding it back in. Do the left, then the right. Your body is drunk from manipulation. You don't know where you go when she touches you, ushers you. Nothing is ready until it's ready. Begin. My eyes won't make focus, the ghost explained. The body breaking down, thinking to be at rest. It can't sustain its form. Hand on head, body shudders, but calmly, all contained, hand flutters, shaking fingers to neck, to head, to fingers, the body calm, the body not calm. Here, beside you, is an image of the pec minor, which is the muscle we're going to be trying to tease apart from the underlying rib cage. Your lover can help by gently working along the edge of the rib cage, starting under your armpit and working slowly toward your clavicle. Your lover won't make it that far, but that's the angle of direction to shoot for. If you don't have a lover, you can do it alone. Touch something for balance. Press through your big right toe. When you dive into the water, it will find you. Hold your arm out to the side and slightly in front of you to line up with the plane of your scapula on your back ribs. As you circle your shoulder blade on your back, your whole arm and hand will mirror that circle. Do just a few circles each direction, each side. The water pours out of the bowl. The bowl has a crack in it. Everything lies still now. You write things, you take away their power. An investigation is pending. She fell like it was nothing at all, her death. Everything is ruined. A body can be anywhere. It can fall. The eagle's nest is lit as if by a spotlight. Feel the thigh bones deepen into the hip socket. Your body is full of inflammation. Put your bare feet in the grass. This can be while sitting or standing or walking. Just have bare feet in contact with grassy ground. Do this 30 minutes a day. Deep breathing during this time equals bonus points. You are running down the hill's long slope. Your hair is ribboned by the wind. You are too young to know. Last night there had been a single seashell pink band of cloud shot through the baby blue sky. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. You whispered the words like a chant. Begin again. Focus on something at eye level. Begin. There was the relentless wind, the industrial windmills, the chickens scratching around beneath the eucalyptus bushes. The ghost's husband was losing his mind. Each night she got into her sleeping bag and waited for the tree frogs. Everything that was useless. She wanted it so badly. In any case, you spent much of the past 2 weeks flat on your back, dealing with some sort of spinal neuralgia situation that makes it difficult for you to go to your office, i.e. your laptop, or to sit up, or to take in food or water, or to do anything really. You're otherwise healthy. The eagle sits in silver gelatin. Pick a number and stick to that number for each phase of inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Just a few minutes of it, but let it go if it feels uncomfortable. Could one say at the end what is falling and what isn't? The sound of mourning doves, the green electricness of the bug zapper at night. There is nothing on TV. If you'd like to get on all fours, get on all fours. Start with a flat back and then begin to round and arch your spine, noticing how your hip muscles have more tension in the rounded back shape and are more released in arched shape. How many times can you keep fixing the same problem? Where does a body of knowledge go when you walk away from it? Don't think about fixing. Stand and focus on something directly in front of your face. Stay focused on that object as you rotate your head slightly left a few times. Slow motion shrug. Exhale on the lift and inhale as shoulders relax down, but chest expands up. Your pelvis is a bowl and you are in the world with it, and there is no way the water will stay entirely inside.